Talk loud enough? Yeah.
All right, guys, if I can have your attention, please. We apologize for doing this without the microphone, but I think everybody can hear us. I think you're good. I want to thank everybody for coming this evening. I'm Kelly Shaw, and I chair the parade, and we were just so proud of Zach Sheets and being selected this year's 2024 Grand Marshal. I just don't think every year I think, well, we can't do better, and then every year we do better. We just find someone who's just remarkable, and we try to choose people, and most everyone knows this, we try to choose people in the community that give back, that are very selfless, that go above and beyond, and you have to be asked, and it comes so natural to Zach. So it only makes sense that he's the perfect selection to be the Grand Marshal this year. So it's our honor to give you this honor. And, you know, I was trying to think of some things early on, things that I remember about Zach, and we used to do this charity thing called Dreadwoods years back, and you could not be here long at all, and it did really well. It raised a lot of money for different charities, but Zach was right there in the middle of that, you know, walking around, and he would say, you know, we toured everything, and he would say, what can I do? What can I do? And he said, can I print off things for you? Can I make flyers? And sure enough, I really didn't think anything of it, but he showed up a couple days later with probably a huge stack of flyers that he'd made and printed up, and nobody asked him to do that, but that was such a huge help and a huge blessing, and so we were so happy that we did that. And that's just one thing I remember that stood out, and that just tells me that there's a lot of character in there, and I'm very grateful for that. But if you'll bear with me for just a moment, if I can kind of pitch my voice a little, I'm going to try to read this about Zach, and then I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Jim in just a second. Jim can talk a little bit as well about his experiences in knowing Zach. Zach Sheets was born in Satellite Beach, Florida, to a family on the move. Because of his father's job as a nuclear missile tech on submarines, underachiever, Zach was living in Hawaii, South Carolina, and Washington, in addition to his time in Florida. This has sparked a love of travel, as Zach has currently visited 49 out of 50 states. Eventually, Zach graduated from Olympic High School in Tracyton, Washington. He went on to attend the University of Washington, Portland State, Olympic College, the American College for Financial Planning, and Purdue Global as a continuing effort to further his education. From 1983 to 2011, Zach worked for Regal Entertainment Group as a director of operations. He then moved to his current job in the financial industry with Edward Jones Investments. That would lead Zach to Campbell County in 2013 when he took over the local Edward Jones Investments branch office. Zach is a member of the Campbell and Anderson County Chamber of Commerce. He is the current Ambassador of the Year for the Campbell County Chamber. Zach enjoys volunteer work, especially that which serves the youth and underprivileged in the area. He has served on the board of the Shepherd's Home, the United Way of Anderson County, the Campbell County Christian Academy, and the Campbell County Football and Cheer Little League, where he's also the announcer on game day. He has coached youth football, youth basketball, and youth baseball. He's a TCAT advisory board member. Zach even danced with the stars to help fund the Carroll Cares playground for special needs children in the area. I'm afraid I got drug into that one too. For the last decade, he's held school supply drives for children in Campbell County, and at Christmas, a food and toy drive for local residents. Zach has embraced his community since the day he stepped foot in Campbell County 11 years ago. His enthusiasm for helping those less fortunate and his dedication to making Campbell County a better place has not gone unnoticed. So thank you for that. And just before I do hand this off to Jim to say a few words, I would like to take a moment and thank the entire Christmas Parade Committee team in the back who have made all of this possible tonight.
Zach Sheets wasn't born to the father, but he got here as soon as he could. And when Zach moved to La Follette, we became friends pretty quick, I think, pretty quickly. You know, we both love sports, both born on military bases, military kids. He had more travels than I have had. But I think Zach trained for his job as a youngster on these military bases when he transferred, made new friends, went to new school, then here a couple years later, did it over. So I was training to come to La Follette because Zach came to La Follette, he hit the ground running, getting involved, and as Kelly Jo mentioned, in all the many elements of the community, entities that you were part of, and thank you so much. Zach may not be the nicest guy in Campbell County, but he's probably top 5. He gets my vote for being the nicest guy in Campbell County.
Behind you.
One of my favorite Zach Sheet stories is, and I'm not going to break any confidentiality rules here, but if you're familiar with Deborah Jones, we had probably 2 or 3 advisors, or maybe more, come through here, and they were here probably long enough to have lunch and go on. Zach comes in, and he's ready to go. And one day a fella came into Zach's office, and he wanted to speak with Zach. He comes in, they visit, and this guy was somebody who you might think would be coming in for a loan as opposed to maybe coming in to make an investment. So this man comes in, they visit, they talk a while, and the man stops and expresses his appreciation to Zach for taking time to talk to him, and thanks him, tells him how much he appreciates him. And a little bit later, this guy tells Zach that the reason he's so appreciative is that he had come to the office before Zach became the advisor of La Follette, and he couldn't get past the front door to get in to see the advisor. They wouldn't talk to him. And so this man proceeded to tell Zach how many millions of dollars he was going to invest with him that day. So Zach Sheet's personality, his geniality, just made it happen with this guy. That's just the way he is with everybody. And Zach, I want to say thank you for being my friend and for being such a part of this community. And we're glad that you did finally come to La Follette. Zach Sheets, our 2024 Grand Marshal of Campbell County Christmas Parade.
And now I'm going to hand it off to probably a member of the parade committee who has been involved in this longer than anyone at this time. Nancy has had, I guess, almost 30 years being on the parade committee at this point now, 30 plus. So at this time, I would like to call up to speak for Zach, Miss Nancy Green. Yeah, she's ready. She's going to shuffle on there.
That's all right. I'll take my chances.
No, actually, here we are again, Zach.
Yes.
You and I together. When Zach asked me if I would speak at his reception, I said, me? And he said, well, you know, we're supposed to we travel in the same circles. And we pretty much do. We've always had a friendly rivalry because who gets to be the ambassador for the family. So we're swapping the award back and forth. He got it last year, but I got it 2 years before that. So anyway, it's all fun and games, and we have a great time. Really like Zach. We've become really good friends. Some of the things that we do share together, we're both members of the South Campbell County Rotary Club, the Campbell County Chamber of Commerce, Leadership Committee, Membership Committee, Ambassadors, Lions Club. But then I kind of stopped there, Campbell County. And he goes farther, he's the Chambers in Anderson County. He serves on the LET, that's Leadership East Tennessee Board of Directors. He does work for the Habitat. I could go on and on and on, but Kelly Jones pretty much covered all of that. So I'll just talk about just a little bit as a friend. Zach, as you know, has a heart of gold. He'll do anything for anyone legal. He's a really special guy. If you ever need anything done and you're at the last minute, you know what you call Zach. Look off what he's doing and put for you if you can. He's really is that kind of guy. And the world needs more people like that. He's always ready to give you a word of encouragement if you need it. And sometimes we all need that. And he's just right there with a lending ear and a shoulder to lean on. I first met Zach a few years ago when he first came here, and he was bringing his little daughter at the time, Rachel, to the library, and he always checked out Dr. Seuss books. I think they read every one of them. I got 2 new ones in yesterday. I've read those, so. But I have learned that Zach's somebody you can always count on, to rely on, to help you, to be there with you for wherever. He's the one to call. He'll always be there. So when all's said and done, we made a very wise choice. We chose Zach to be our Chamber of Commerce, not Chamber of Commerce, I'm sorry. Campbell County Christmas Parade Grand Marshal for the year 2024. None undeserving, and I am so honored to call him one of my very best friends. Congratulations, Jack.
No. You could have been more first.
Thank you, Nancy. And now, it is my honor to call up a very dear and long friend of Zach's, Mr. Mike Nelson. The microphones are down, or we can turn them up and hear angels sing.
All right, good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I know they're recording and I know the microphone's down. I just want to make sure that get it all on here for posterity. I know how Zach dresses every day. Coat, tie. I don't know, up here in La Follette, he may get rid of the tie quite a bit, but still, by the looks of what he's wearing tonight, I'm even a little overdressed. But my name's Mike. I met Zach actually right about 13 years ago. It was right about this time of year. As a matter of fact, the little buffet you guys got going on over there reminds me of the night we met. Was at a Christmas party. Somebody from the Edward Jones Company in a house much nicer than the one I had. So yeah, there we were. There was one deviled egg left on the plate. We both went for it. We ended up on the floor. It was horrible. I didn't get the deviled egg. And that's how we met. Well, it didn't exactly go like that, but it could have. So, yeah, we were, obviously Zach is with Edward Jones, and at that time, I was as well. We both came into the company at the same time. And to give you an idea about the kind of guy that Zach is, he's still doing that work, serving his customers. I didn't have any problem serving the customers. I love the customers. That job is hard. Let me tell you, that is a difficult profession to be in. And you got to remember, this is December 2011. Okay, so we're training. We're all wild-eyed and happy and thinking we're going to set the world on fire. And what happened just 2 or 3 years prior to 2011? Remember 2008, 2009?
Yeah.
Remember when a bunch of us lost a bunch of money? Well, when Zach and I started at Edward Jones, we weren't very popular people. Our job was extremely difficult, and to add insult to injury, our prime method for meeting new people and prospecting was parking our car in a preferably nicer neighborhood, because they have maybe a little more money, and knocking on doors. Just like back in the 50s and 60s when the Fuller brush salesman would come around your house the vacuum cleaner, Electrolux guy, and the people selling the pots and pans and the Tupperware and whatever else. So yeah, knocking on doors was a challenge, and it was, I guess we started that probably in January. So the weather wasn't very nice either. So there we are out there, yeah, dress clothes, coat, tie, dress shoes, pounding the pavement. So I say all that to say 13 years later, Zach is serving his clients admirably and has weathered the tough part of that business. And for me, I didn't even make it 3 years. It just wasn't for me. I didn't have in me what Zach has in him. And if you know people who are in that kind of a profession, you understand what, and even today, hey, the stock market's going great, right? We're record highs in all the markets every day. Hey, he's a superstar now. Now people love to hear from him. The tough part of the job is when things aren't going so well, and everything is a cycle, and at some point things won't go so well, and he's going to still have to have those tough conversations, and that's what he does very well. I know he is very involved in this community, even though he and I don't rarely ever see each other anymore. I'm in Powell, and he's up here in Buffalo, running all over Campbell County. We just don't cross paths like we used to, other than on Facebook. But I'm glad to call him my friend. I'm excited that he's, I don't know how you get nominated or run for this position, but being a Grand Marshal is pretty cool. And he deserves it, and he'll be an excellent Grand Marshal. He'll do the community proud, as he does every other day of the year. Congratulations. Did I cover it? Oh, I forgot about the jail thing. No, we'll save that for another time. Thanks.
We all want to hear that jail story. Guys, this is the fun part. There are some things that we do that feel like work, but honestly, this has been something that I think I speak for every member of the Pray Committee. This is just always such a joy every year. And I would like to go ahead and ask the Pray Committee to come on up here with me, please. Now we're all doing aprons. And guys, of course, after we present the plaque, we want you all to go ahead and help yourself to some cake or whatever. We'll go ahead and cut the cake. But at this time, we would like to congratulate you, Zach. And it is our honor as a community to present you as the 2024 Christmas.
Over there.
You want to come up here?
Oh,
Okay. Hop.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, got you down.
What's the line?
Make it right here and lean on that.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to present you as our 2024 Christmas Parade Grand Marshal. Is that not fabulous?
That is awesome. Corey calls me and says, Nancy's got a message for you, you gotta talk to her. And Nancy tells me this, I'm like, me? Yeah, I figured it would be. I was shocked beyond belief. It's been an honor. It's the most wonderful thing was coming up to this community. And I'll say this, the opportunity came up. I had an office right by West Town Mall, and our regional leader at the time said, hey, we got a couple offices, and the rules of our business is that if an office like this one sits open for too long, we have to shut it down. So he's like, hey, you want to go check out one of these? It was Athens and Mahalik. He said, tell me which one you'd like to go to. Because he wanted me to go, because they wanted to save the office. So I came up here, absolutely loved it from day one. You know, it's such a blessing and an honor, whether it was stepping in the Rotary right away, stepping in the Lions Club, the different organizations in this town, and meeting the people in here. And what you find here is what we find in most communities, that, you know, 10 or 20% of the people do 90 or 80% of the volunteering. And it's been so wonderful getting to know Nancy. Go down to this Missy over here, Kelly Jo, working on her Halloween performances. That was an amazing amount of fun. Just a blast. And Kelly Jo goes above and beyond, whether it's community awards, whether it's the parade, whether it was that to raise money on her property, her house. Tons of people running all over her yard and everything else. Cars parked everywhere. It was just amazing and so much fun. And that's what it's been up here. It's that great opportunity to make a difference in the community. I've got one of my board members from Habitat, Rogers over there. You know, the different organizations in this town do so much. You know, you got Maggie over there with the Children's Center. Can't say enough about what they do. You know, Jim says all this nice stuff about me, but Jim is the nicest person in the whole wide world. He will do anything he can to help someone, whether it's to getting their business going, it's promoting their events, helping charities, you name it. He's always there to help. I don't know how he does it. He's up at like 2 or 3 in the morning and goes till late at night. Whether it's a high school event or a middle school event or something, he's always around. So, I mean, I look around this room and there's so many wonderful people. We have Debbie here at TCAT who has made that place such a better place. They're building a new campus. It's incredible. And all this has happened, you know, in the time I've been here. You talk about people who volunteer for everything. Cindy's over there. You know, I don't know how she does it either. I mean, whether it's being the treasurer for that organization or at the event for this and everything else. There's just so many amazing people in this community, and we're just blessed. So to have this honor, I couldn't ask for a bigger honor. It's just an amazing opportunity to be recognized by so many people who do so many things for this community and try and make a difference. You know, people, and we always get that rap, you know, the news from Campbell County is always negative. Well, you know, that's because they're not here. They don't see what a difference and what the reality is. Yeah, it's easy to point to the problems, but there's so much good stuff here. And again, I can't thank everyone enough, and especially you ladies, just amazing. I'm just so proud to have this honor, and I can't wait for Saturday night. Noah over there, who quickly volunteered to provide a vehicle for the parade. So, you know, and Short Redmond, again, you know, another great organization here in town that has always stepped up when there's an opportunity to help.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have got a great big cake over there to add to and to celebrate Zach. So make sure that you sign the banner and wish wishes for him. That's when it will get to you. And this concludes the program. You're welcome to stay and
Sign this banner. I need to borrow this. I'm just saying.
Hopefully I'll still be here.
Not that